Hello and welcome to the Film Pulse podcast. This is episode number 504. My name's Adam Patterson. With me today, we've got Kevin Rakestraw. Hey, Kevin.
Hello.
This week on the show, we're going to be taking a look at Larry Fessenden's Blackout, which is out now on VOD platforms. We're also going to be going over some of them watching on the watch list and this week's new releases in theaters, VOD, and Blu-ray. Thank you so much for joining us this week. I think we can just go straight into our review. Again, we're talking about Larry Fessenden's Blackout, the maestro of indie horror, an indie horror icon, if you will, Larry Fessenden.
Mm-hmm.
I have a synopsis here. A fine arts painter is convinced that he is a werewolf wreaking havoc on a small American town under a full moon. Kevin, we'll start with you. What were your initial impressions of Blackout?
Well, as far as I can tell, and maybe you can help me with this, but as far as I can tell, early on, it seems like Fessenden's trying to do like a metaphor, allegory, whatever. I don't know what he's going for specifically about, alcoholism and werewolves, and it doesn't work at all. But eliminate that, and just as a werewolf movie, not half bad. I gotta say, I was impressed with some things. I did like the effects work of the werewolf, the creature. The creature effects pretty good. I gotta say, some of the transformation effects a little iffy. I did like when he incorporated the animation for it. I thought that was an interesting choice, but some of it kind of looked like AI, which was kind of rough looking.
You mean the transformation effects?
Yeah, I think it was towards the end where it was kind of smeared.
Yeah.
It was almost like painting. I was like, if it's a painting, it looks pretty good. But it didn't really look like a painting to me.
I hope it wasn't AI. I really do.
I say
that's a big point of contention right now in pretty much all of media is the use of AI, and I for one am staunchly against using AI in commercial endeavors. I don't think it should happen.
Yeah, and even outside of that, I just haven't seen anything yet that I'm like, yeah, that looks good.
I mean, I've seen some really impressive stuff that it depends on what you're going for, like AI art or AI imagery. You know what I mean? Like AI art, what I'm seeing, most of it feels pretty soulless. But then AI imagery, now their AI is able to recreate people or create people rather from scratch in such a way that you can't even tell anymore. It's gotten so incredible over the last few months, even, that you can no longer tell what's a real person and what's an AI creation. But there's that movie that came out recently, Late Night with the Devil, and I want to review it on this show. I think it comes out next week, maybe the following week, and I do want to talk about it because I'm very much looking forward to seeing that movie. But they came under fire for using some AI art in their movie, and it just sucks, man. I wish that they wouldn't have done that.
Yeah, especially for what they did it for. It's just you could have easily gotten someone.
Just hire somebody on Fiverr. It wouldn't have taken much to get what you're looking for, which I believe was stock images that were on the TV, right? It was like ads or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's disappointing. But I on one side, I get that it's a lot cheaper than creating original art, but at the same time, I find a lot of ethical problems with AI art. So anyway, hopefully it wasn't AI art. Nobody's accusing this movie of using AI art, just to be clear. We don't know that. But I agree with you in that I thought for the most part the practical effects and the transformation stuff looked fine. I mean, this is a very low budget movie, so they kept everything pretty pretty tame. I mean, there's not a lot of like high octane, like really out there effects work going on. The animation sequence, uh, like you, I enjoyed that sequence. I was expecting to hate it because normally I do hate that in movies where they just randomly cut to an animated thing, because 9 times out of 10 it feels just like strictly like a budgetary thing that has no relation to the movie at all. However, in this it probably was partially a budgetary thing, but he's an artist, and the animated sequence at least somewhat resembles the character's art style. So I was fine with it. I was actually okay with that. Um, Now, talking about the metaphor here, yeah, I mean it's probably about alcoholism. They mention the fact that I mean, it's called Blackout. He, doesn't remember where what he did when he had that, when he turns into the werewolf, and they talk about his that he has had a drinking problem also, and then they also show him like I think like at the beginning of the movie he's supposed to have been sober or something, and then he starts drinking again. So yeah, I think the metaphor is there for alcoholism. There's also a slight political slant to this movie as well, where there's this like local developer in the town played by Marshall Bell, and he, these murders start to happen, and he just starts blaming Mexicans for the murders. And then they make a point to show, him being sort of the ultra right wing land developer guy, and then like there's a couple other like MAGA types in this movie. So there's kind of a little bit of a political slant to it as well, but that is very loose also. Much like the metaphor, nothing too deep here. It doesn't really get too deep as far as any kind of messaging, at least from what I could glean from it. As a standard werewolf movie, I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I like Larry Fessenden's movies by and large. Like most of his stuff, I like, and he's just a solid director. Like his movies they're just solid. They're always kind of indie, low budget horror movies, but they're always entertaining, and they're always very like just technically well made. It's not a movie that is going to stick with me forever. It's not going to be a movie that will end up on my top 10 or anything like that. And I might even forget about it by the end of the year. But the time that I spent with it today when I watched it, I enjoyed myself quite a bit. Sort of like, how I feel about a lot of his movies, where I enjoy them all, I like them all, but none of them really blow me out of the water. I just think that he's just a really solid director.
Yeah, I'll say, like it, especially in terms of Blackout. I think what really works for this is just his ability to kind of like create a place and people. Like I feel like this town is really well developed. The people in this town are developed, and it feels like real characters in a real town. And we just so happen to have a werewolf that is mauling people and ripping their throats open.
And it's not like it's like an old school Wolfman type of werewolf movie. It's not like one of the newer, more like an actual wolf type of thing. It's I think that recently, I think it was his last feature he did. I think it was called Depraved or something. Yeah. Depraved. That was like his take on Frankenstein, and now this is sort of like his take on the Wolfman. Has he done a vampire one? I feel like he has done a vampire one in the past.
Oh, I'm sure he has. He has to.
I haven't seen all of his movies. I've seen a few, but not all of them.
I've seen none.
Oh, is this the first one that you've seen?
Yeah, which is wild. I would not have guessed that.
Yeah, that is interesting. Well, there's some ideas for you for Halloween time. Pick out some other Fessendens.
I've seen a lot of movies with Fessenden in it.
Yeah, he's in like every horror movie.
He shows up all over the place, man. He's everywhere.
I liked Braved a lot, which was his last one, and I think maybe the only other one I saw was Wendigo. Oh no, I saw The Last Winter and Beneath also. Last Winter I liked. Beneath I hated.
Mm.
I like Larry Fessenden a lot, just as a person. Like I just think he's a cool guy, and I love it when he shows up in other movies with his little cameos.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
You know, like his other movies, I feel like there was a smattering of kind of Fessenden regulars and new people and non-actors in here. So like performances across the board were just all over the place. You know, some of them were quite good. Some of them were clearly non-actors involved. And some of them were like, okay. I thought that Alex Hurt, who is the main character, I thought he did a pretty good job. William Hurt's son.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Well, no.
Yeah, that's because I didn't even put that together. Because when they were showing the pictures or whatever, I was like, "Fuck, William Hurt's in this movie? Like, is he good? Like, how did they get William Hurt to be a part of this?"
There's one scene when he's like looking at pictures of when he was a kid, and it's real pictures of him and his dad, William Hurt.
Well, that makes a lot more sense. It's like, damn. I was just imagining Fessenden calling him up. Hey, I don't need you to be in the movie, but can you just take a couple pictures? We just need some still photographs, right?
That would be kind of funny. I mean, he does a good. Also, he looks exactly like his dad too. Like he looks like William Hurt.
Now that I know, yeah.
Barbara Crampton is in this too, and she's only in one scene, which is kind of unfortunate. But
yeah,
Kevin Corrigan is here too, in more of a cameo role. I thought he was going to get his dick sliced off, but he didn't. Like they totally set that up for him to get his dick bitten off, right?
Didn't happen though.
Nah,
and we still don't know where he is.
Nope, we don't know where Bob is.
Yeah, come on, Bob.
I'm gonna just assume that he got his dick bit off, and that we didn't see it.
Yeah.
So this is, it's a fairly straightforward werewolf movie. I think that, like you had mentioned earlier, I think that one of the things that it really does have going for it is the location. You know, this kind of small, presumably New England town, maybe somewhere in New York, upstate New York or something. But it's a great location, and it's like one of these little towns where everybody knows everybody, and there's like a significant amount of poverty happening.
Yeah,
but
and I pretty much agree with you. Like I didn't hate my time with it. I wasn't blown away either. Like I thought it was fine. It was well enough. I more than likely will forget about this very soon-ish. I feel like I'm going to completely forget that this exists.
Yeah, because it's just one of these movies that you just kind of watch on a weekend, and you enjoy your time with it, and then it's just it's fleeting. It's just
get back to life, man.
It's just out of there. It doesn't really stick with you too much. But yeah, it's a solid one, and I'll continue watching anything that Fessenden does. So, anything else you want to add?
Yeah, I don't have a whole lot else to add.
there's not really a lot to talk about, like as far as
Yeah.
plot and stuff. Like it's a pretty standard werewolf movie in a lot of ways. I think that the thing that makes it better is just good characters, good location. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. Yeah. Bit too long. I'll say that. Could have been shorter.
Yeah.
Could have gone full throwback, made it like 80 minutes.
Yeah.
80 minutes. Let's get that. Let's get that 80 minutes. Let's bring that back.
I'm down. I'm down with the old
fucking do it.
80,
Come on,
80
guys.
86 minute movie.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness. Anything in that 80 range. God.
Yep.
Love it.
Cool. Let's go ahead and give it a score. I'm sitting at like a 6 on this one.
Okay. I'm at like a 5. Straight down the middle. Cut that sucker right in half. Like a werewolf would. With the sharp claws.
There you go. That is Blackout. You can check that out on VOD platforms right now. Talk about some of what I've been watching. I think it's my turn this week. One movie that definitely stuck with me, at least it has for the last few days, and that is a movie called Saiko, The Large Family. This is a Japanese film that came out in 2009, and this is a very interesting movie. It's a mockumentary about a Canadian filmmaker who goes to visit a large Japanese family. And as you know, or as most people know, Japan isn't known for having very large families. They have an aging population. Their birth rate is very low. So it is kind of an anomaly to see a really large family in Japan. And so they decide to make this documentary film about this family of like 9 kids, I think it is. And for the most part, when you watch this, it feels like it's just one of these kind of pretty poorly made, low budget, like PBS documentaries about like a specific location or people. Like they do such a good job of making it feel like authentically not very good, like not very well made. Like there's scenes where like they'll keep in like the person translating, and like they won't cut it early enough so you can hear the person translating and stuff like that, and just like a lot of little things. And that's what this movie is all about. It's all about the fine details, because this is a horror movie. And when you watch it the first time, you wouldn't know it's a horror movie at all. There's a couple things here and there that are like a little bit off kilter, but nothing obvious until you kind of go back through. It almost demands like a rewatch to figure out what's going on. Everything, like there's no big reveal, there's no twist. It's all up to you, the viewer, to figure out what's happening in this movie. Because if you're not paying attention, if you just watch it at face value, it feels like it's just like this kind of normal documentary about this large family. But once you do start to pull away the layers, it becomes very intriguing, and dare I say a little bit creepy. Pretty creepy too. So I definitely recommend checking out Saiko, The Large Family. It is on YouTube, so you can watch it on YouTube.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, it's free on YouTube. In fact, that's the only place that I know of that you can watch it. So check it out on there. It's just a fascinating. I mean, like, there's movies like Ghost Watch and stuff like that really try to make it feel like an authentic documentary. But this one does such a good job of it. It's almost not a good thing. It's like almost a detriment to the movie itself, because they make it so authentic that inevitably there will be something that you're like, okay, all right, we're getting into like spooky territory where paranormal things are happening, but that doesn't happen in this movie. This movie is a no burn, and it's very interesting. I definitely recommend it. I could see it really not working for some people. I will say that I had to do a little bit of research on this after the fact because I knew that there were certain things that I missed, both from a language barrier standpoint and perhaps a cultural standpoint. So, and indeed, there were like some things that I missed, like specific words that have double meanings. And there's like certain like things in the background that are written in kanji that like the movie doesn't translate for you because it's like it would be giving too much away. So, when you look up the translation, like, oh, in that scene, there was like a piece of like a form that was in the background that you could see it, and it seemed like it was something, but you don't know what it is. And once you look it up, you're like, okay, it's all fitting together now. Like all the pieces are fitting together. So I will say that I did have to do that. And I would imagine that most people that don't speak or read Japanese would probably have to do at least a little bit of looking up stuff in this.
Yeah.
And the YouTube comments actually do explain a lot. Like the people in the YouTube comments help break everything down. So anyway, definitely recommend Psycho the Large Family.
Nice. I watched Pieces from 1982. One P.K. Simone, the guy that directed Slugs. You remember that movie, Slugs?
I do remember Slugs.
Yeah, you know why you remember? Because it's one of the greatest goddamn movies ever made. Pieces, not so much. I was kind of disappointed. I was really excited. So I was like, oh shit, it's the guy that did Slugs. This is going to be incredible. And it was disappointing. It does have a great tagline though. It's exactly what you think it is! Exclamation point. That's a great tagline.
Yeah.
It's exactly what it is, man. Exactly what you think it is. There's a lady, there's a chainsaw, it's called Pieces. Put one and one and one together. Guess what it is? There's a maniac going around chopping people up with a chainsaw. Mostly women. All women, really. I gotta say that the effects work with the chainsaw is pretty phenomenal. Like it's kind of disturbing. It just looks like bodies getting ripped apart by a chainsaw. It's fucked up. But the story just didn't really work for me. It's the old, the guy had mommy issues and now he's just chainsawing people. And then outside of like the chainsawing, it's kind of dull. There is some great one-liners in it, I will say, because there's a Boston detective. He's frustrated. He's having trouble trying to figure this shit out, and his partner's not helping him too much. And then the partner's having trouble, and he's just on the phone yelling at him. He's just take some uppers and figure it out. Okay, fucking take some uppers, man.
Just take some drugs.
And then there's another woman who's like walking around, and then this guy comes out of nowhere doing kung fu, attacking her in the middle of the night. She kicks
Bruce
him in
Lee.
the nuts. Yeah, takes him out. And guy comes down. He's like, "Oh, that's just my kung fu professor." What?
Yeah, completely random cameo by Bruce Lee Li.
What? Like, what the fuck? That's yeah. Like, it's kind of funny, but at the same time, it's like fucking dumb as hell.
Yep,
It's just it was all right. Like I'd like to lightly recommend it, but man, it was just such a letdown from Slugs.
yeah, Slugs. Slugs is a classic.
Slugs.
All right. I saw The Wages of Fear. This is a remake of the 1953. I can't remember the 50s version. And it's also sort of a remake of, I guess by the transitive property, it's a remake of Sorcerer as well. Although I'd say that it more closely resembles the original Wages of Fear. But unlike Sorcerer and the original Wages of Fear, this movie's dog shit, and I can't recommend it at all. It's a French remake, and the thing is, like, for some reason, the suspense is just not here. Like, I don't know how you can do that when, if you're not familiar with these movies, the basic premise, now there's a lot of extra stuff tacked on here, but the basic premise is a group of people need to transport highly explosive materials from point A to point B in a very short amount of time without, causing the item to explode and kill everybody.
Yeah.
So it's a simple yet very effective premise. In this movie, it's nitroglycerin, which I can't remember if that was Sorcerer or Wages of Fear, which one had nitroglycerin. I think one of them had like dynamite and the other one had nitro. Anyway, it's just not that thrilling. I don't know. This is more of an action movie than anything. The other two were more like, Sorcerer was kind of like almost a political thriller in a way, and Wages of the original one was just a straight up, thriller. And this one is more of an action movie. There's shootouts, there's, it almost feels like the actual transportation of the chemicals or the explosives is like not even the biggest part of this. The action is just like generic. It's like generic kind of war, Middle East war type of scenes where, it's very saturated colors and, it's just it's not good. Sorry to say.
No,
Can't
it looks
recommend
terrible.
it. Can't recommend it.
I watched Demons 2, Lamberto Bava. Demons 1, awesome. It's in a movie theater. You have a dirt bike, and you have a bunch of demons, people getting killed. It's awesome. Demons 2 is in a high-rise apartment building. Demons come out. Yeah, and I like how do the demons get to the high-rise apartment? Through the TV. Genius. Fucking great idea. So it starts off really promising, because the first demon comes through the TV, and I'm just like, hell yes. This is... what more could you want? And then... not a whole lot happens, and it was a huge letdown. I was just really disappointed. They made some great choices, I will say, like having the dog turn into a demon. I appreciated that. You don't see that a lot. And having the little kid turn into a demon and then immediately die and have a demon hatch out of his body, which you don't see that anymore at all. No one has the balls to do that kind of thing anymore. Like, it's just great. That was good stuff. But man, it's just such a letdown. I just thought that this was going to be balls to the wall, just like Demons 1. And, I like a good, people just being murdered in one place. A high-rise building, pretty good idea. But I don't know, it just didn't have the same oomph for me as the movie theater did. And I don't know if it's just because there wasn't a dirt bike. I don't know if that would have helped. Maybe. This one's just maybe far messier too. It's just a mess in a lot of places.
I remember liking this one a lot. I think a lot of it has to do with the high rise. I'm such a sucker for movies that take place in high rise apartments.
It's great because that was my first immediate thought. I was like, oh shit, this is right up Adam's alley.
Yeah. I mean, love it. Yeah, love it. All right. Well, sorry, didn't like Demons 2 as much as Demons 1.
Yeah. I mean, I still have Demons 1 though. Can't take that from me.
Yeah, I mean it's still a great movie, and
an incredible movie. So good.
I think I like Demons 1 more as well.
Yeah,
but I did like Demons 2. All right, I saw Imaginary. You know what? No. I'm not even gonna talk about
Don't Panic. Yeah, don't talk about it. Tell me about Don't Panic.
I'm not gonna talk about Imaginary because there's nothing to say. It's crap. Don't Panic, on the other hand, this is a slasher possession type movie that came out in 1988, directed by Ruben Galindo Jr. And this is basically it's like a Nightmare on Elm Street kind of ripoff movie. But I think that they did a pretty good job of it. It's very fun. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but it's a good time nonetheless. So it's like a possession film and like a Nightmare on Elm Street kind of combined.
Yeah.
And you have this dude who so it's basically about this guy and his friends. They play with the Ouija board and they end up summoning a demon who possesses one of their friends and starts to kill all of them one by one. And the main guy here, Michael, he is able to see through the eyes of the demon. So like when the demon goes to like kill somebody, he has this like kind of psychic connection to the demon.
Mm-hmm.
And like he can see it. So like he tries to like warn people, and of course they don't believe him, and then like they think that he's the one doing the killing and stuff. And for a large portion of the movie, he's wearing dinosaur pajamas, which is hilarious because he's 17 years old. He's like a full grown. Well, I mean, he's 17 in the movie, but in real life he's probably like 30, and he just looks so ridiculous wearing these child pajamas through almost the entire movie.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. You know, it's a good 80s throwback. And I liked it quite a bit. It's on Shudder, and this was part of Last Drive-In with Joe Bob.
Nice. Yeah, I saw this on your list, and I immediately clicked Watchlist.
Yeah, it's a good time.
I'm kind of surprised it's not on Tubi. For sure this is a Tubi movie.
I want to say it's a Vinegar Syndrome, maybe. No, maybe not.
I did watch something on Tubi. That's Winter Kills from 1979, starring young Jeff Bridges. Jeff Bridges plays the younger brother of his brother. His older brother was the president of the United States, but then he was assassinated.
Ooh.
And this is like several years later. He's in the Navy. He's on a ship. They bring a guy in, and they're like, "Hey, this guy said he shot your brother." Turns out, dying last words says this is where you can find the rifle, this, and that. So he looks into it. Sure enough, this guy was right. So bam, starts kicking off this whole thing. Now he's back in it, trying to get answers. Right. Dad is played by John Huston. And this is, I think, the main issue that I had with this movie. As soon as John Huston is introduced, you're like, well, the conspiracy ends with him. Like, it's him. Because he's just such a son of a bitch. He's just like a fucking asshole. And you're just like, he's power hungry, and you're like, well, obviously he had something to do with it. And then he has like his right-hand man, in a sense, played by Anthony Perkins, who has a small role in the movie, but man, does he deliver on his screen time, because he is just an unnerving individual in this movie. And it's just, it's one of those good, 70s style conspiracy thrillers. Not one poster. Of the best. Yeah, not one of the best, but definitely if you are into that type of thing, I'm sure you'll enjoy this. To me, it was just like it was an okay, not bad type of deal.
Yeah, that poster kills it. I saw Baby Assassins 2, Babies. Baby Assassins 2, Babies.
Oh, is that the actual thing?
Yeah, that's the name of it. Baby Assassins 2, Babies.
That's dumb.
It is dumb. I don't really understand it, but that's what it's called. It's directed by Yugo Sakamoto. I quite enjoyed the original Baby Assassins, which came out when did that come out? 2021. So only a couple years ago. The cast from the original one back at it here. If you're not familiar, the movie revolves around two young ladies that they just turned like 18, I think. So they're very young, but they are like these two top-rated assassins. and they have to just live their lives and be assassins. And it's a slacker comedy, but with some pretty heavy action in it too. So, these two women are they just love to just eat junk food. They just love laying around, being lazy, not doing anything, eating junk food, playing video games, and then they'll go and kill some people, make some money, make enough money for rent. But in this one, there's these two young men assassins who they're trying to make a name for themselves, so they decide that they're going to kill the two ladies, and they think that if they kill the two of them, then they'll be like the top dogs or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And of course they were sadly mistaken. So if you enjoyed the first one, you'll like this one. It's more of the same. Really great action choreography, decent amount of violence. It's funny, but I will say, if you find like over the top Japanese comedy annoying, you will be annoyed. Like the two main characters are pretty annoying. So you do have to be kind of okay with that, like almost anime style, like over the top personalities, cartoonish personalities of some Japanese characters. But I liked it. I kind of knew what I was getting into with it, and I had a really good time. I like spending more time in this universe. I like the world building here. There's like this guild, and like there's specific rules that you have to abide by if you're in the guild. And like they stopped a bank robbery because they were trying to pay a bill, and they only had till like 3:45 to pay this bill. And then these bank robbers came in, and it screwed up the deadline. So they stopped the bank robbery just so they could pay a bill, but it resulted in them being suspended from their assassin agency. But yeah, it's a good time. I would definitely recommend checking out Baby Assassins 2. You should maybe see the first one first, see if you're into it, then check this one out.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You don't have
okay.
You don't have to see the first one in order to understand what's going on here. Like it's totally optional. I mean, it helps because it's not like they, most of the characters have already been established. So that's really the only thing you'd be missing out on is the character development.
Okay. Got anything else?
The only other one that I'll mention is Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. I saw this in the theater.
Do you regret that?
Yeah. I it was either this or The Omen, and I wanted to see The Omen, but my wife was like, "No, I just want to see something fun and light." So we saw Ghostbusters instead.
Was it fun and light?
It was light.
Okay.
I wouldn't necessarily say it was fun. I love Ghostbusters. I love Ghostbusters 1, Ghostbusters 2. I didn't hate Ghostbusters Afterlife, and I actually liked the 2016 Ghostbuster. Like I didn't mind that either.
Wait, is that the gender swapped one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't mind that one either.
I thought it was fine. But this one is just it's a nothing burger, and it was really disappointing because to me, Ghostbusters is, a fun, scary kind of ensemble piece with a team. And the thing is, like, it's not really that doesn't really happen in this movie. It's mostly centered on McKenna Grace's character, who is plays Egon's granddaughter. And so a huge portion of the film is just follows her and this like ghost that she becomes friends with, and it's just not that interesting. And there are some fun moments, but I feel like everything gets sidelined to that one that one plot line, and I think it's really disappointing. There's this really great scene towards the end where like the old team gets back together, and you have Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd and Ernie Hudson and Annie Potts coming back, and that's great. But it's like too little, too late at that point. So it's not horrible. It's just meh. It's just not anything memorable.
I could see that. That's kind of the vibe that I got from the trailer.
Yeah, it's just and like the big fight at the end, like the creature, the thing that they're going up against. It's so powerful, and it's like this thing is like a god, and the like final battle is just so lackluster. It's very disappointing. Anyway, that's it. That's Ghostbusters Frozen Empire.
Frozen Empire, so epic, man.
I don't know if you remember this, but like way back, like way back, Dan Aykroyd had a script that was for the original third Ghostbusters, and it was that they went to hell, and that sounded like it was going to be so good. I don't know what happened there, but I wish that happened.
I wish Ghostbusters would go to hell. That would be great. Like to see that. Maybe that's well, you set it up, Frozen Empire, and how do you unfreeze it? Hell.
Yeah, well, that's
Hellfire.
Not really what happens.
Well, no, that's the next one. The next one, they're going to go to hell because you gotta heat it up from the underneath.
Maybe. I doubt it.
You think that work? Yeah, because I think that a lot of those guys might be dead by then.
I mean, they're getting up there. Sure.
They're looking rough. They look rough when they show up.
Well, not Ernie Hudson. Ernie Hudson looks...
No. Yeah.
Ernie Hudson looks like he's younger than us.
Yeah, Ernie Hudson looks better than I do.
And he's the oldest one. He's the oldest one of all of them.
I don't get it. I don't understand.
Yeah.
Magic. It's probably magic.
He's doing something. He's got that like what do the Hollywood people do? Eat babies or something?
What? All I could think of was it fucking Squidbillies. He's babies, but Jesus eats babies. I don't know who eats babies. Maybe Ernie Hudson. See, I just wonder, it would be wild if Ernie Hudson got his hands on some magic. Just kind of stumbled across some magic.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe.
Just inadvertently made himself unable to age.
He did it by accident.
Yeah, it's just completely
messing around with alchemy.
Just fucking dicking around, mixing potions and shit, and he's just like, I don't know, fucking live forever and never age. I don't know. And then it was like, bing, and they get up in the top left corner. There's like a trophy, and it's like never age, accomplished. He's like,
unlocked.
Oh shit.
Oh, maybe.
Well, good for him.
Yeah. Well, that's all I got.
That's all I got too.
All right. Let's take a look at what we have in theaters this week. Got The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare.
What?
The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare.
That's a hell of a name.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really know what to think of this. It looks fun. Looks pretty decent. I'm not going to be rushing to the theater to see it, but I'll catch it on VOD or something. World War II. British military assembles a select team of exceptionally skilled soldiers to launch covert strikes against Nazi forces deep within enemy territory. I'm down.
Huh. How about that?
Yep. We also have Abigail coming out. This is a horror movie. Looks okay. That's another one that I'll probably catch on VOD. Speaking of which, on VOD this week, let's see. We got Dune Part 2's coming out on VOD. That's exciting.
Dune.
Yep, Dune Part 2. Got the Three Musketeers Part 2, Milady.
I don't know why that's funny, but it is.
It is funny. Blood for Dust. We got Sweet Dreams. This is an odd one. So it's like a feel good, maybe even like a family movie. But it stars like Johnny Knoxville and Theo Vaughn and Bobby Lee, the weird lineup. They like live in a halfway house.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's I mean, I saw the trailer and it's a very odd trailer. I mean, I hope the movie's good. Like it looks okay. It's sort of about baseball. Like they're in a halfway house and there's like a softball team or something, and like Johnny Knoxville is like reluctantly becomes the coach of this like ragtag group of, misfits that are in this halfway house. I don't know, man.
I don't know what to tell you. I ain't watching it. I know that much.
Well, I didn't think you would. I don't know if I will at this point either. All right, we got Dusk for a Hitman. We got The Brink of. We have Deadly Justice. What a lineup! What a lineup! Let's see. On Netflix, we have Rebel Moon Part 2, The Scar Giver. I'm wondering if this is, I mean, I feel like that this has to be probably the biggest financial disaster for Netflix. Because like the first one, like they had committed. I think that this is like a 3-part like series or whatever, a trilogy. And like the first one bombed so bad. Everybody hated it. Critics, fans, everybody. But they're like, you know what? Well, we committed. So let's try to make this work.
Just keep losing that money.
Yeah, you just keep bleeding. I mean, who knows? Maybe part 2 will be like a big redemption for the series, and everybody will come back to it and be like, you know what? Zack Snyder was on to something. We just had to get 2 movies to see it through.
No, more likely what's going to happen is this is going to come out bomb, and then next month your subscription to Netflix is going to go up.
We all pay for Zack Snyder's mistakes. Yeah, that very well could be. Very well could be. Let's see. Is anything coming out on the old Max? An American Bombing: The Road to April 19th. Let's see if anything is going to be on Hulu. Nope, nothing on Hulu. Disney Plus. Nope. Let's see what's coming out on Blu-ray. It's got Night Swim, Baghead. Got It's a Wonderful Knife, Seed People from 1992.
1992. Seed People.
Yeah.
Oh, we gotta look that up.
Yeah, I'm interested in this one. Sleepy little town of Comet Valley has been invaded by plants from outer space.
You know what? I mean, before you even look it up, but you hear Seed People 1992, and you're like, I bet you any money that's on Tubi. Guess what?
Oh, yeah.
It's on Tubi, buddy.
I'm sure. No doubt in my mind that it would be on Tubi. We have Mean Guns from 1997 and Countdown to Esmeralda Bay from 1990. What about on Criterion?
Wow, that's it for Blu-rays?
It's the truncated version. I'm using a different list here.
I was about to say, usually that goes for like 7 minutes.
Yeah.
We have 2000s Workmeister Harmonies from Bellatar and Agnes Urinitsky. Definitely get that. That might be like one of my favorite movies of all time. Just a heads up.
How about that? Little Bellatar action.
Get that. Bella and Agnes coming at you.
Are there any scenes involving potato eating?
I don't think there's potato eating in this one.
Just like straight up boiled potatoes, just scarfing them down like apples.
No, this is, I don't think it has potato.
All right, well, missed opportunity there, but
is that's a no-go for you? That's a deal breaker?
Yeah,
Bella's not busting out potatoes. I ain't even fucking interested.
Nope. Or extended shots of horse-drawn carts going down muddy roads.
You probably have that.
Okay.
I know that there's long sequences of walking. So
all right. Okay. That might be something that I'd look into then. All right, I think that's going to do it for this week. Thank you so much for listening. You can send us your questions and topics to podcast@filmpulse.net. If you could, consider giving us a review on your podcast platform of choice. That'd be great. For Kevin Rakestraw, my name's Adam Patterson. We'll see you next week.